Thank you, Raul, and good morning to all. It is my privilege to introduce our guests here today, starting with our Mayor, Andre Quintero, our Mayor Pro Tem, Bart Patel, Councilman Juventino J. Gomez, Councilwoman Norma Macias, Councilwoman Victoria Martinez, our elected city clerk, Jonathan Hawes, our elected treasurer, city treasurer, Jerry Velasco, and also representing the Honorable Grace Napolitano, Congresswoman for the 32nd District, Perla Hernandez. Representing the Honorable Senator Dr. Ed Hernandez, 24th District, Iso Acasato. Representing the Honorable Gloria Molina, Supervisor, 1st District, Susie Tsai. Also representing City School District Board of Education, Vice President Kathy Heredia. We also have with us our city departments. We have our Chief of Police, Steve Schuster. Our City Attorney, Dave Gondik. Our Economic Development Director, Damian Arula. Los Angeles County Fire Department Assistant Fire Chief, Nick Davali. Also, Interim Public Works Director, City Engineer, Michelle Marquez Riley. And from the Downtown El Monte Business Association and the El Monte South El Monte Chamber of Commerce, our Executive Director, Ken Roush. Our City Commissioners from the Community Affairs Commission, Joe Anthony Garcia and Carol Lees. And we also have representatives from our developers and other city elected officials. And I'll start with Mr. James Acevedo, President for Grapevine. Mr. Philip Payan, also investor partner, Grapevine. Joanne Karras, Grapevine, Vice President, Development. We also have Laura Archuleta, President for Jamboree Housing, the affordable housing developer. We also have Michael Massey, Director, Jamboree Housing. Other city council members from the surrounding area, Luis Ayala, City of Alhambra. We also have Brian Reyes, Director, Division 5, Upper San Gabriel Valley, Water Municipal District. Diane Oliva, Councilwoman, City of Cudahy. Again, welcome to this great groundbreaking ceremony, and we hope to have a great program.
I woke up this morning and realized it was a little rainy, and I figured, well, geez, I might actually need my umbrella today. We've been watching the weather report as staff, and the rest of the team, we've been getting kind of nervous looking at the weather. And you know you have 3 daughters when you go to look for an umbrella, and the first one that you see is Tinkerbell, the second one is Barbie, and the last one has pink monkeys all over it. So, you know, what can I say? With that said, what a beautiful day, right? The skies have parted, the sun is out, and it's a great day to celebrate this momentous day for the city of El Monte. It's both an honor and a blessing to be here with you today. You know, I gotta say, when I first received the notice from the state that this project was in jeopardy and that the city stood to lose the largest grant in the city's history, I became concerned. I became concerned because I knew El Monte deserved better. That it was a city that has struggled in the past few decades, but now has a council and staff that has a vision and a passion and will work against all odds to make El Monte what it once was. Many people don't know this, but for one of the reasons I'm passionate about El Monte is my family immigrated to the United States from Argentina. In fact, my grandmother Perla flew here from Argentina with 3 kids in tow and $1 in her pocket in the early 60s. And guess where she ended up? El Monte. El Monte back then was experiencing a renaissance of development in the housing, commercial, and manufacturing areas. Main Street, El Monte as it was known back then, was the place to be with a JCPenney, restaurants, a movie theater, and so much to offer families and couples looking to shop and dine in the city. Well, what this project represents to me is a symbol of what El Monte can be once again. A beacon, a lighthouse for the city to look to as a catalyst for development. It is also the start of implementing a vision that this council has set forth for bringing back the El Monte that we all knew and loved, and what we want it to be in the future and what it will be once again. You know, many people doubted us. I even had some pretty prominent city staff say to me, this project is never going to blank happen. It's dead, it's dead, it's dead. And being the optimist that I am, I replied, I have an idea and I think we can pull this off with the right team. Well, I'm here to tell you that El Monte is alive and breathing, and the project is happening right before our eyes. But this project couldn't have happened without the support of a small village of people. And before I wrap up, I would like to thank the people that lived, breathed, and supported this project during the most challenging times. First and foremost, I would like to thank Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. You know, it may sound funny, but I prayed about this project and asked my Lord to will this project if it was the right thing for El Monte. And here we are today. Secondly, I would like to thank my beautiful wife, Jenny. She has sacrificed so much. So many nights and weekends being alone with our kids and always taking care of our family and supporting me during the most stressful and challenging times. She is a saint and the love of my life. I would also like to thank my beautiful girls, Maddie, Sophie, and Faith, for always understanding when Daddy had to take that phone call or Daddy dealing with this project on the weekends. For those here today, please briefly raise your hand when I call your name. People need to know about you and the power of our team. One of the team members I would like to thank, whom I call my brother from another mother, is Mr. Monte. Thank you, man. You know, this guy has a passion that you wouldn't believe for the city. He has helped out so much and always is there to support me in the city in so many ways. And I thank him for his service and his time. To our city council, for believing in me and our team. Thank you. You have an incredible passion and I admire the hell out of all of you. Your vision, your drive, and your willingness to ask the right questions and change this community is awe-inspiring. Thank you. To Raul and Jesus for always stepping in when I needed you. There were some rough times and you exhibited leadership incredibly when it was needed to see this through. So thank you. To Griselda, where are you, Griselda? She's here somewhere. She's back over there. Hi, Mary. Hi, Griselda. She's my right hand. She takes care of everything and has worked several nights and weekends away from her son to support me on this project. She is a saint in her own right and is wonderful to work with. Thank you. To the rest of the ED team, the Economic Development Department, thank you, thank you, thank you. Despite my focus on this project, you always make the department look good and are taking the city to new heights. We have a small team, but you guys are doing an incredible job. Many of you attended meetings on the project and have also helped us get ready for today and created this beautiful environment for everyone to enjoy. Thank you also to Alex, Lisa, and the Parks and Rec team for beautifying this, all this stuff that we see around us. To Miss Teresa, Michelle, and the CM's office and the City Clerk's office, who sacrificed a lot of Fridays and Saturdays for this project and are always patient with me, and I owe you many margaritas at this point. Now, Teresa's here, she knows what I'm talking about. To Bueller, Schuster, and the rest of the PD, thank you for all your help in getting everything ready today. Everything looks great and your support is greatly appreciated. To James Acevedo, Michael Massey, Joanne, and her son, Miguel and George and Ken Holder from State HCD, thank you for always staying the course and believing in the power of El Monte. And thank you to Philip and the investor team for being here today and also believing in El Monte and staying the course, as well as Union Bank and those investors that are here. As you guys know, here in the front row, we spent many a weekend and late night together, and you guys have sacrificed a lot to get here. This is hopefully just the beginning of many things to come. I'd also like to thank SCS Engineers, Prism Group, Pacifica, Tom Dodson, Oliveras Madruga Lawyers, and Dave Gondek, Richard Allen of DTSC, Barbara Roll, the Metro team, Pacific Coast Civil, Cynthia Futter, Tom from Gibson Dunn, and last but certainly not least, Ernie Vasquez, Nathan Herrero, and the MVI team for their incredible vision. Ernie, where are you? Please raise your hand. This is a lot of your vision right here. This group represents a portion of the village I just mentioned, and without all of them, we wouldn't be here today. That concludes my remarks, and again, thank you. I guess that's my cue to end it, right? That concludes my remarks. Again, thank you for being here today, and thank you for believing in the power of our Monte.
It's all odds. With this kind of leadership, we're bound to succeed. I want to introduce a dignitary who was not mentioned earlier. We have Mr. Richard Flores from Assemblyman Roger Hernandez's office, also with us today. And I also want to thank our public works people for all of their efforts to set this up today. We've had a busy time. We've had groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings almost one every week, and it's a good thing. Now I'd like to introduce the members of our city council to come up here and say a few words, because without their leadership and support, we also would not be here. I'd like to start off with our mayor, Andre Quintero.
Good morning. Good morning. It is a tremendous honor to be here with all of you today to celebrate this very important occasion. And I have the privilege of being the mayor, and oftentimes they describe mayors as the first amongst equals. And I have to tell you what just a tremendous honor it is to serve right now at this point in time, in this moment in history, with the colleagues that I have on the city council. It really has been a long time getting here, and it hasn't been easy. The challenges and the risks, the potholes, if you will, have been deep. But this council has a lot of courage, and they've demonstrated that on more than one occasion. Advocating and fighting for folks that need people on their side, that need government on their side. And today is a culmination of a very long process. I think for a while there we were hoping not to lose the HCD grant. But through that process of not wanting to lose that, we found something much greater than just holding on to a grant. We found a project that will provide such important opportunities for housing and retail in our community. And I'm so grateful to the partners that we have, and there's many partners that we have, but I want to talk about one person in particular and just say thank you. And I've said this to you privately, I'm going to say this to you publicly as well. James Acevedo, thank you. I remember when we first had conversations with James, he was looking at maybe considering moving our city hall down here somewhere. It was kind of a vague idea or concept. We had gone through some very difficult times. We lost a developer, we were sued by a developer, we were going back and forth with other developers trying to figure out how we were going to make anything out of this. And James, like the sure-footed soldier, kept pushing us forward, kept willing us forward. And fortunately, he found a really good partner in Damien Arula on our economic development team. I'm sorry, our economic development team, Damien Arula. and with everybody working together and just pushing forward and realizing that we had to make this happen for this community. And I'm just so proud of the work that you've done, willing this thing forward. I want to thank our city manager as well, who has only been with us since July of last year, but understood how significant and how important this project was to us and helped push it along, helped facilitate conversations, helped make things happen. To our legal team, Dave Gondek, Rick Olivares, to our legal team for all the work that they did to help facilitate this as well. When Damien said that they made sacrifices, let me tell you, if I can just underscore the amount of sacrifices that they made with their time with their families. We called special meetings often. We had to do so much to make this happen, especially during the holidays. I'm sure it was difficult. And I just want you to know, Damien, and to James and the whole team, that we appreciate what you did for us, for our residents, for our city. Thank you very much on behalf of a very grateful city. Thank you very much. This is very exciting. I was recently at an economic forecast LA, a talk about the economy in LA County, and they did survey throughout LA County of 2,400 residents in LA County and opinion leaders and mayors from different cities in the county. And one of the things that was consistent is that more than 80% did not believe that they could buy a home in the next few years. More than 80% didn't think that we had the resources or the capacity as individuals to be able to buy homes. And that's very troubling. The fact that we don't have enough affordable housing is very troubling. But guess what? And this is one thing that I love to say, and people already on the council get so tired of hearing me say this, and I get that. This project solves multiple public policy objectives for the city of El Monte. Not only are we providing affordable housing, we're providing market rate housing, and we're providing some very important retail space in an area that within the next 10 or 15, 20 years will be a strong economic development hub for the city. As it is, we're working on a specific and master plan for the Valley Mall area. We've got development that will be coming in shortly in the Santa Anita and Valley area. This area is going to be a hub for major economic development activity. And this council is very ambitious. We have said that within the next 5 years, we want to bring in $60 million in revenue. Because when we were at our peak in 2006, 2007, we had $60 million in revenue. And because of the economy and the downturn in the economy, we've structurally lost $12 million annually. In order to provide the services that our residents are so desperate for, in order to provide the services that our businesses need, in order to provide the quality care that we have and the high standard that we expect of our city government, we need to have that level of revenue. And we're only going to do it with quality projects like this one. So to the team, thank you again very much for willing this thing into existence. I look forward to when we do the grand opening of this amazing facility. To the council, one last thank you very much. I know it wasn't easy. There's so many things that you guys did, and faith and hard work and reading, a lot of reading that you did to try to understand and just really appreciate the sheer challenges of the program. Thank you all very much for your courage and your hard work. And again, to our staff, many blessings to you. This is going to be a major, major project for the history of our city, and hopefully will encourage the kind of investment that we expect, quality investment in the city. We know that people who invest here will make money. We just have to share that with the rest of the world. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful day.
Now I'd like to invite our Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Barcatel.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, what a beautiful day. I think Damien Arula was praying so hard last night, and the skies did open up, and we do have nice sunshine. Just look, all the thank yous have already been, credited out, so I'm not going to repeat that. But I just want to change just a little bit of perspective on this monumental project. I was on the Planning Commission in 2007 when the original TVLLC project was envisioned, and it was a really big deal, and there was a lot of concern from the community, a lot of input. You know, it was dubbed as the billion-dollar project, and with a lot of commissions and a lot of studying, you know, the project went forward, and then unfortunately, hiccups came along the way, and the project was dishelved. And then being elected to the City Council, January 1st, 2012, you know, one of the things was like, hey, you know what, this Gateway project, it's not looking good. You know, we might have to start over. And I'll give credit to our council. You know, we embraced that potential, that particular scenario that, you know what, we're going to continue to move down, you know, the pathway of trying to secure the grant so we could have enough funding for infrastructure and other stuff to make this project a reality. And I want to tell you know, say the mayor. One thing about the mayor, he's always optimistic. So I'll give him kudos to that. You know, sometimes I'm not as optimistic, and I have reality bugs set in. But hiring, and so then we were told that, you know what, we're going to really lose this grant unless we put all of our staff to work at this 24/7. And I want to, you know, really thank Damon Arula. He really stepped up to the plate, and he probably lost like 2 years of his life, you know, working on this project. Even as we're going into closed session meetings, he's like, oh, and I was on the phone, you know, we're just finalizing some other, you know, pinpoint agreements and this and that, and I think it became, you know, consumed his life for quite a while. But, you know, he was the lead man, and he had also a bunch of teammates to help him along, but he really put in a tremendous amount of focus and energy to get where we are today. And as the mayor said, we hired Raul Godinez came on board July 15th, and preceding that, it was always like, hey, we need, you know, this project. If we can't get it approved by September of 2012, or we can't get it approved by January of 2013, it's dead, it's dead, it's dead. But it kept, you know, basically coming back alive. So.